parts and inventors are generally built by using different type of sketch. Thinking of the sketch plan as a surface on which we can sketch the 2D sections of the parts. The first sketch is usually drawn on one of the established dentin plans. Subsequent sketches or features can be created and add to the existing planar surface of the solid parts or dentin plans later. Let's first start a new part with inches as its unit. Let's activate the Start 2D Sketch icon, and then we move the cursor over the edge of the XY plane in the graphic area. When you move here, you see it is highlighted. We want to double-click and select this plane as a sketch plane. So the sketching plane is a reference location where two-dimensional sketches are created. On top, the main ribbon area is now switched to the sketch toolbar. Move the cursor to the line icon and click. Let's start with drawing a random line. We left-click to get a starting point. As we move the cursor, we see a digital readout that gives us the location, the line length, and the angle of line measured from the horizontal. Right-click OK to confirm this line. Now, if we want this line to be horizontal, we can add a horizontal constraint by clicking the horizontal constraint icon from the ribbon toolbar first, then click on our line. Now you see the line with a constraint symbol here. Let's repeat and draw several more lines. Click OK. If you move your cursor to one end of the line where you see a point, if you select this as your starting point, then you can move to the other end and you're able to connect those 2 points together with a line. Inventor is also pretty good at predicting what you want to do. For example, now if I want to draw a line, as I go here, they're showing one of the potential constraints we want to use, which is a vertical line. If we continue, now it's showing another constraint, which is perpendicular, right? If we confirm and we keep connecting, now we have a closed shape. We can continue to modify the geometry by applying additional constraints or to define the size of existing geometries. Let's move to the cursor to the dimension icon, click, and then click to the line. Now it shows the current dimension. And if we double-click this dimension value, we are now able to type the dimension we want. Let's use 1.5 inch and click Accept. Boom. Now the length of line just changed. Let's use the same method to give dimension of other edges. Let's do 1 inch here, 0.5 here, and another 0.5. I want the bottom left angle to be 90 degrees, so I put this perpendicular constraints by clicking that and then click those 2 lines. I do the same to this 2. You see, since we already have this perpendicular constraint when we make it, we don't have to do it again. Let's do the same to other lines. Now we have this perpendicular constraint symbol next to the lines we just defined it. At this point, we can no longer add more constraints and we are not over-dimensioning. If we right-click, select Show the degree of freedom, we see many arrows showing up. This means there are degrees of freedom. If we move the cursor to one of the arrows, we are able to drag it and move around, which means the position is not fixed. To fix this, let's right-click again and hide the degree of freedoms. We have to add another constraint to make sure it is positioning to the place we want. Let's move the bottom left corner to the origin by clicking Coincidence Constraints, then click the 2 points. Do you notice there is a color change? Before, it is purple. Now it is black. If you have a sketch in black, that means it is totally fixed, fully constrained. To make the 2D sketch into a 3D part, first let's finish the sketch. The faces rotate and the ribbon toolbar change to 3D model. Let's click on Extrude. Boom. We got 3D. At this point, if we want to change the dimension, we just go back to the sketch by double-click. And now, if we change this into 2 inches, here let's change this one into 1.5. Now if we click Finish Sketch, see, the entire shape changed.